Hello, everyone. We are from AIChE-VIT, and today we are welcoming you to the second episode of Chemically Dope podcast. We are we are doing this podcast with the members of AICHE from BITS Dubai. A little introduction of our AICHE chapter will be given by our friend over here, Smriti.
Hello, guys. I hope I'm audible to everyone clearly. Okay. So, AIChE-VIT is a student chapter in Vellore Institute of Technology, Tamil Nadu. We have various domains like management, design, technical, editorial, etc., which I hope would be pretty common among all student chapters. We also have wings called Chemicar, ChemiCube, and ChemQuaz, where we conduct project based research or outreach based research. And we also have a podcast team called Chemically Dope. And we have had a season one successfully in Spotify, and this will be the season two and episode two of the same podcast. So, how is the structure in your AICHE at BITS?
Okay, so I'll allow Ashwin to take over because he, in fact, is the president of AIChE at BITS.
Good evening to everyone present here. My name is Ashwin, and I'm the president of AICHE. So far, we don't have any plans like podcast, but we will soon do it in the future. I think it's a great idea. I have watched a couple of videos on YouTube, and it's really interesting to see the opinion of all the AICHE members all over the world. So, as of now, this semester the last semester we haven't done much in AICHE yet, but we will conduct a couple of planned visits. So, for instance, last time we have done a planned visit to Aditya Birla Cements. So, we are planning to do something similar during this semester as well. So, we haven't done anything major till now. Everything is planned for this coming semester. And yeah, that's all from my side. Now, Krishna, can you continue?
So, in terms of wings that you mentioned, we have also divisions in our AICHE as well. So, we have the media and marketing department. I'm the head of that. And we have, as you said, K-12, which caters to educating school students on what chemical engineering is and attracting them to BITS. So we do have those divisions as well, and we generally conduct certain main events throughout the course of every year, and they are primarily STEM events, technofests, and other programs that cater to people who want to know more about chemical engineering. So we hold workshops, seminars, and we even showcase experiments as a demo for these people. So this is a gist of what we do.
That is so nice to hear, guys. So, yes, Shruti, go on.
So, as a member of a chemical chapter, what are some current trends and challenges that particularly interest you in the chemical engineering industry?
So I would like to answer that on the basis of my experience doing an internship here at AIChE during my second year. I was fortunate enough to do an internship there, and particularly in our college, the trend towards chemical engineering is quite less. More people are interested towards joining CS department, and it's understandable why that's the case. So I did speak with several of the people working at AIChE who are very experienced engineers, and they told me that although this is the case as of now, 5 years down the line, we would need chemical engineers more than ever, because the amount of experienced people by then would be less. And we need chemical engineers in so many different industries that it's important to bring about the awareness among people of why we need more chemical engineering students. So this is a challenge, the awareness part, which we are trying to tackle through all of our events. And one way of doing it internally within the college, I would say, is we hold these quizzes called that are put up on Instagram, and people can put up their answers through Google Forms, and the winners are awarded with some sort of prize. So the motive behind holding those quizzes, which are open to all, not just chemical engineering students, but students from every discipline, the motive of doing that is to bring about that awareness of making people understand what chemical engineering is about, and to sort of break down the notion that chemical engineering equals chemistry, which is a very common notion among people. So yeah, that's about it.
Thank you for your
So I
answer.
actually wanted to ask because uh, like I'm very interested in environmental engineering. So Dubai has a very big reputation of having all kinds of futuristic projects and all that kind of things. And the Middle East, it has interesting climate belt compared to let's say like different parts of the different parts that surround the area. So how does your chapter specifically weave into these kind of sustainability projects that Dubai undertakes, and educate people regarding that, or like weave it into, let's say, the events that you guys conduct.
Um, as for this, I have to say that we had a program called Expo Innovation Program, which is conducted by the Dubai government. So, in that particular program, students they are expected to bring in pitch in ideas that can provide sustainability in the future. So as of that, three teams from chemical engineering alone have went for it, including my team and Krishna's team and another team. So mine was mainly focused on petrochemical wastewater recovery, and Krishna's was based on lignocellulosic cells, I think. And there's one more about photocatalyst. So out of all of us, it's Krishna's team who got selected, and in the end even won the prize for being the best team, like in our college. So yeah. Now, Krishna, can you explain more about that particular project?
Yeah, so it's a very proud moment for us because all the four teams that took part in this university innovation program managed to win and were provided with a grant of 25 dirhams to proceed with the research. So this is a pretty big deal because we had universities from all over the UAE take part in this, and we were able to cross several stages and reach the final and eventually win it. So the aim of this program was to allow college students to come up with sustainable solutions to any problems that are seen around them. And we were able to do that. And now, actually, we have to submit a prototype in a few months' time. So the work on that is progressing as well. And apart from that, the way we include sustainability into our campuses is we make sure to grab any opportunity that we can where sustainability is promoted. So, as of last semester, we had this conference where we had a bunch of industrial experts and environmentalists come to the campus and speak about potential sustainable solutions for the future. Um, I would want to talk more about it, but unfortunately, I was not there that day. But yes, these things do happen in our college very frequently. So, yeah, that's about it for that.
Guys, first of all the best for your prototype submission. It's very happy to hear. And
Thank you very much.
congratulations to all the teams that won. So, I was about to ask how the regional context of Dubai affects the place, but and affects your ideas, the output that comes and all. But Sagni covered it very beautifully in his question. Uh, we in AIChE-VIT, we have two very major annual events. One is the Student Regional Conference, which is conducted by the AIChE, mandated to be conducted. And the next one which we have is Chemathon, a flagship event which we conduct in AIChE-VIT. It is a 36-hour hackathon where we give problem statements. We have three categories and we give problem statements, and people are supposed to make a prototype. And Chemathon 6.0 is coming shortly, and we are all preparing for that as the organizing team. So, are there any events like these conducted in your college or nearby colleges? Could you give us any insights which would help us make a beautiful event?
Ashwin, do you want to answer that? Or?
Okay, we don't have a constant event that happens every single year yet. We keep on changing the type of events we do each year. And I joined like last semester, and last semester I was the events head. So what we came up with that time is a normal treasure hunt event. So that's one kind of event that happened, and we also had Excel workshops for some students who struggle to do the basics in Excel, and also we are planning to have math lab workshops because that's very crucial in chemical engineering as well, right? So these are the small list of events we are doing so far, and yeah, that's all we have at the moment. Yeah, Krishna, would you like to add something?
I would actually like to ask a question if that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
please,
Please
Uh,
go
please.
ahead.
so you guys talked about hackathon. So how exactly do you integrate code into chemical engineering?
Okay, I think there is a little bit of confusion regarding the hackathon part. It's modeled like hackathons, but it doesn't at all times include coding. But again, as I said, as Smriti said, the problem statements are designed for different kinds of things. So every now and then you can have a problem statement that might, as Ashwin put in, might require MATLAB or might require something like some amount of coding for chemical engineering. But in general, it just follows the format of a hackathon. Otherwise, it's usually based upon product development and in the 36-hour time span, in that short time span, given the materials that you have, because the materials that you have, they're also you won't have everything. You will always have constraints. You have to optimize it. So you have to think about that. You have to optimize according to that, and then come up with either a solution or a product, something that can answer your problem statement.
Thank you very much for that. That's actually a very good idea. Thank you for that.
Just a second. So add to Sagnik's point, the hackathon part will basically be 36 hours. We'll have checkpoints in between, and they'll make a physical model. We are trying to involve simulations of various kinds, like AutoCAD or ProSim or anything which will aid like core chemical engineering students, because there is a scarcity. Only like people who go away from their college, who sit on that separately, learn that we want to incorporate it in the students' lives as soon as possible. This hackathon is pretty much targeted for first, second, and third years, basically everyone who's in campus. So we are thinking of incorporating that, and that is why the code part will come in. But it is not possible for someone to sit and code for a continuous 36 hours, right? We all know how hard that is. So we might incorporate something in a part which should translate into a physical model also, which will be easy on their health and their ideas. That is the idea of a hackathon. It is called Chemathon. Please do check it out on our Insta page.
Also, yeah, one more question. Do people from other disciplines come to this competition as well, especially computer, since it's about coding, right?
It
So,
is not involved much coding up till now. So we do see participation from electrical or mechanical branches because they are pretty similar. But computer science, it's still hard to pull. We are still cracking that question. It is a big thing here. As you mentioned in your university, there is also a similar trend here. People do choose computer science over chemical. We do have a very less strength, but we are trying to incorporate many disciplines as possible in our chapter work. So it'll be easy for people to come. They should not view the chapter as an only chemical engineering chapter. They should view it as a very inclusive chapter of all departments. That is everyone's goal at this point, right?
that is the biggest challenge at chemical engineering, isn't it?
Yeah, that is true. Over to Shruti.
Considering how Dubai is such a happening place, and like as we are now networking, like what are the strategies that you employ and like for networking and connection building, especially within the chapter or even outside, perhaps?
About this, it's more of the K-12 side. We don't have the K-12 member with us right now, but we do have alumni relations in chemical engineering as well. Because in our campus, we have internships provided by the university. So indirectly, they're able to connect with the university as well, and give their opinions to the juniors as well, like how the company is like and all that. So yeah, that's all I know about for now because I don't have much information about K12. So if Krishna, do you have something about K12?
So networking primarily, I think, in our case, it takes place through LinkedIn. just the same way how we got to find you guys. And we also did a collab with the AIChE department of Rajiv Gandhi Institute as well, quite recently actually. And that was also getting to know them through LinkedIn. So we have two groups in LinkedIn. One is our alumni group, and one is our chemical engineering group. And they're open access to everyone. So anyone who wants to join automatically gets accepted. And we consistently post what we're doing there, and also the research developments that are taking place, so that people who are interested can come in contact with us, and if they want to collaborate like you guys, can approach us. So, and it's working quite well so far. So yes.
That seems like a
Yeah,
great idea,
that's a pretty good
especially
strategy
with
actually.
the research, keeping people updated. It also helps raising awareness for chemical engineering in general. So I hope we can implement it here too soon. Over to Shaganai.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing that I wanted to ask is that I mean, Dubai. We all know it's like the hub of petroleum engineering and all that, and like a big part of the economy petroleum plays a big part of the economy there. So what I wanted to ask is that like how does your chapter bring in, let's say, professionals from the industry and like make contact with them for the benefit of the students that are part of the chapter, and like do collaborations with them, have talks with them, kind of events have been held like that. Any insights into that?
Ashwin, do you want to answer?
Yeah, Krishna, I know can talk about the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll have to go back to ADNOC and me interning there. So we are planning on bringing on one of the engineers there to give a talk. So it's a great thing that you raised this question. So we are planning on doing just that for this semester. And apart from that, I think beyond calling professionals to talk about chemical engineering specifically, something that we do is call in professionals who can give talks about soft skills and other things that chemical engineers also need to keep in mind. So over the course of these last 2 years, we've had talks ranging from mental health to entrepreneurship in chemical engineering. So I think these topics are also important, and that's what we try to implement. Um, so yeah, Ashwin, do you want to add something to that?
Yeah, that's all like I can see from that.
Okay, so that's pretty great, and especially the mental health part. Like we all know college can get stressful, and people can struggle with that. And bringing mental health into something like this is very important. Like most of the times, chapters have a tendency of just focusing on the engineering aspect of it, but soft skills are just as important, and especially mental health is just as important. So that's a really wonderful idea that you guys have, and honestly, this should be there in more chapters, and events of this kind should be there more. That's really great to hear.
So we are all second year students, and for someone who is not very much knowledgeable about the chemical engineering scene, how would you say looking for internships is good? As you told, you did a very good internship with a great company. How did you approach? How can people approach it in Dubai and in any other place? We would like to know that.
So for this question, our college, right, they have a special system that during the fourth year of every student, one semester is dedicated to internship. So 6 months of internship is offered by the university in most cases. Like more than 90% of the students, they go to the places appointed to them by the university. So, so people are able to do 6 months internship there and even get placed there after their college gets over. So when it comes to internships, it's a very good university right here, and even finding jobs, it's not big of an issue because we do get placements from bits. So yeah, so from my side.
So just to add on to Ashwin's point, we did have one of our seniors who got an internship in a company where she dealt with the Aspen software, trying to find out solutions for wastewater treatment. And that experience actually helped her to apply to an even bigger company on her own, not with the help of the university, and get in because of that gained experience. So I think what we need to take away from this is that utilize the opportunities that we have here, especially in learning software like MATLAB and Aspen, because I think companies are looking more into that. And if you've done any projects with these companies, it really helps. So I think finding jobs comes down to not just your academics, but also the projects that you undertake and your contribution to them.
So, as a member of the chapter, like, what was the most memorable event or occurrence that happened during your tenure?
Can you repeat?
Um, so what is the most memorable thing that has happened during your tenure in the chapter, like an event or anything like that? Something that you'll take with you down the memory lane.
Okay, understood. So like I said before, we had two memorable industry visits. So one is to Master Builder Solutions in Dubai, and another one is Star Cement in Aditya Birla. So these both are very memorable for us because we actually got to see the working of industry, how clinkers are made, how cement is processed from the raw material to the finished product, and understanding the whole process as yeah. And also, yeah, that's all from my part. Just these two industry visits are the biggest, most memorable events that happened. What about you, Krishna?
I think Ashwin's humility has prevented him from mentioning the treasure hunt that he himself organized. After a very long while of not having any core events, Ashwin came in and proposed the idea of this treasure hunt called Atomic Rupture, which he mentioned earlier, which turned out to be very successful. Even with the less number of people that we did have at the time, we were able to pull it off, and we raised a lot of money from it as well. So the event was basically involving students running around the campus looking for clues to defuse a bomb, in quotes. So it involved them looking for clues, solving questions completely related to chemical engineering, and they could run the event multiple times. And the team that took the least amount of time to finish it got a prize as well at the end of it. So it was a very successful event, and the master brain behind it was indeed Ashwin.
It really does sound like an interesting event to take part in.
Thank you.
So, I wanted to ask, first of all, do you guys have any other questions for us, regarding our events or anything else that we do?
Actually, we would like to know what kind of events you plan in more detail because we would like to have some idea because we do struggle, to pull a lot of people into our events as well. So, but still, we can take some good tips from you.
I can tell you about one of the events that I was trying to organize. So, it was during the VIT Technical Fest that happens, called Gravitas. So in that, I was associated with an event called Crisis Alert, and in that, we were trying to basically simulate a disaster that has happened in a city that is given to you. For instance, if you are given in the city Mumbai, so maybe a tsunami has happened in Mumbai. So the task of the team is to sort of think of strategies to mitigate that disaster, and also have they also have to come up with certain other complications that might arise in the time that they have for mitigating the disaster. So to pull people into this kind of event, because it's not exactly something that you would hear every now and then, especially given in most technical fests, it's like some electronics events are happening or some coding events are happening. So we have to, like, the way we market it is that we market it like anyone can take part in it, and it does not require any prerequisite or pre knowledge of some events or of some topics. And you know, you just have to apply engineering concepts to it. It doesn't really necessarily have to be from some branch. You can just think, and you can do.
That sounds like
As
a
you're
really
all
wonderful idea. We'll plan to implement. Yeah. Okay,
In
continue.
the same technical fest as Sagnik mentioned, as you're familiar with K12, we also had an event related to that called Bloody Murder. It was a forensic lab experiment kind of a event. We basically narrated a story through experiments, a story of a dog being murdered, and we asked our audience to figure out who the murderer was. And in the end of the event, we taught them how to conduct the forensic lab experiments that we used during the murder and the experimentation and the detection of it. So while we were marketing the event, it sounds like completely different from chemical engineering or anything related as so people were really interested to see how it relates to it, and we pitched it as a murder plan and how you can kill somebody or learn how to kill somebody, and we did teach them in the end to how we can make realistic blood and stuff like that. So I think making it's part of the creativity that goes with it, that you have to make it fun for the people so they join the events.
About this, right? I really wish we could do something like this, but the problem is we have a very big club called Chimera, which is conducted by the Biotechnology Club, and they have a lot of members, and they conduct these kind of events towards the end of every year. So yeah, we can't do the same thing again. I wish we could do though. It sounds very interesting. I'm telling.
So add to their points about events here, the scene in VIT is pretty similar. We do have major biotech clubs and other core clubs in mechanical engineering and all that. So how we go about our events is that VIT mandates two fests for technical chapters, which is Gravitas and Yantra. Yantra is a week-long fest and Gravitas is a 4-day long fest. So we are supposed to conduct events. All the technical chapters are supposed to pitch and conduct events. So we'll be first ideating the event, pitching it to DSW, and continuing it. They won't approve events which are pretty similar. So we are forced to ideate new, fresh ideas every year, and it should not be similar to any other chapter. So that is how it works. And other events which we conduct on our own are Slut It Out. We conducted it recently, but that was through Unstop. It was an online time. We had a major chunk of online time this year. Our seniors were home or we were here and all that. To make everyone participate in something, we had a competition through Unstop. It was a presentation pitch making competition, which was basically life sciences, environmental themed, which is sustainability and all that. Another thing, as I mentioned, would be Chemathon, which is our flagship event. And we are always coming up with small event ideas which would make the whole team work together or whole team compete with each other in a fun way and add many people. The constant question which still remains for all the events is how to incorporate other departments, which we talked about earlier also.
That sounds like a really good idea. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Yes,
So,
yes.
as I had mentioned, I wanted to ask you guys something before asking about if you have questions for us. So, what I want to ask is, please, would you be interested in joining Chemathon this year? Because it's going to be a big fest, and we would love to have you guys over there. Because I mean, we've got Krishna over here, and that model making thing that was very impressive. So, we would love to have somebody of that kind of uh, you know that kind of model making capabilities and things like that. So please do take part in Chemathon, and it was lovely talking to all of you guys.
Same here. We'll look forward to joining it. Do let us know the dates and the further details on that as well.
Guys, we will
And
send
you
you
will
an official invite. Very
Thank
sorry
you.
to interrupt, but we will send you an official invite throughout to your chapter's president through the mail IDs and all that going forward. And regular updates will be put through our Instagram and other social media pages. So,
Okay, guys, it was wonderful meeting all of you.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, everyone. Sagnesh, Shruti, and Shruti. Thank you so much. Yeah.
thank you so much. It's an honor, likewise, guys.